call it the keyhole, but it's a 360 turnaround. So I'll go ahead and show you that one real quick.
Check that out, guys. That's pretty cool. Yes,
It's more
sir.
difficult than it looks.
I believe it. All right, guys, today we have a special treat for you. I am here with Officer Merritt. He's on the Arlington PD, and he is going to show us a lot of awesome things. Thank you for coming out and doing this for us. Awesome. So where we're going to start out, we got a little rain coming, so we're going to jump right into it, but he's going to show us some slow maneuvers and some techniques. And so what's the first technique you want to show us?
So this one, it's probably one of the more difficult ones that we go through during motor school. We call it the keyhole, but it's a 360 turnaround. So I'll go ahead and show you that one real quick. Basically staying inside of 2 parking stalls.
Okay. Check that out, guys. Look how tight that is.
So in the training, it would look like you go in and come straight back out, like this. Again, you dip in, come out around,
Nice.
and right back out. You gotta be able to do it both ways.
Woo.
So that's that one. It can be kind of difficult, especially on these newer motorcycles. We
Okay.
have what's called ABS, right? Their analog brake system.
Right.
Well, if you put on your brakes too hard, because a lot of this is done by controlling your brake pressure. So if you put on your brake too hard, your ABS will send you through the wall of cones.
Wow.
So one of the tricks that we have is we can just undo the ABS here. So now you're going back to the old school regular brakes, and it won't cause you to push through the cones.
Oh, wow, okay.
Of course, you're going to get all kinds of sensors now that that's unplugged.
That's unplugged, yeah.
One of the next things that we do are our figure eights. This just
Okay.
helps you get controlled in small spaces, being able to turn and get around small places, tight places.
Tight places. Okay, figure 8, here we go.
And the sharper you turn, the deeper you can get into the...
Woo!
You'll start to hear my floorboards scraping.
Wow. That's awesome.
As you notice, if you come over here, a lot of our mechanics get upset with us because as they're working on our motorcycles, they have to be real careful with how sharp these
Wow, yeah, that edge is super sharp.
get from scraping on them.
Yeah, I see that. Woo!
We also have the turnarounds. So let's say you're going down just a 2-lane road. You see a violation, you got to turn around on them real quick in the street. This is our pretty easy, like a U-turn turnaround.
Okay.
Main thing to remember is your bike's gonna go where your head goes. So turn that head and look that direction, that's where you're gonna go.
Okay. Love how that bike just lifts up in the front when he comes out of that hole. Coming out of the hole, coming out of the hole. Woo! Yeah, it's crazy how that front end just lifts up when you come out of the hole.
Yeah. And then kind of like this last one, it's our slow riding. You'll see these a lot in competition. Who can hold the slow ride the longest without putting your feet down?
Okay.
This actually comes in really handy, you know, whenever you're working in crowds or trying to go around cars and they're moving real slow for you. So this really is one of the best techniques to use to get lots of control with the motorcycle.
Okay, okay.
So, show you this real quick.
Wow. Check them out, guys. How he uses that wheel. Crazy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Let's get that one. Let me get it from the front.
Okay. Take me a second to get a good stop.
Yeah. Working that wheel. Yes, sir. Work that wheel. Work them bars. That's awesome.
What do you think?
Man, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yes,
It's more
sir.
difficult than it looks.
I believe it. I
We go
believe
to a
it.
lot of the motorcycle rodeos. You know, Grand Prairie has a rodeo.
Okay.
Fort Worth has a rodeo. Buda, Texas, down there's a rodeo.
Okay.
Louisiana, Florida, there's all these motorcycle rodeos, and that's where the difference between the Harleys and then the sports bikes comes in. So we can hold these slow rides way longer than the sports bikes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. So a little bit better for maneuvering crowds and all of that. Yep. Tight spaces. Nice. Okay. Cool. So I guess let's tell us a little bit about the bike. Kind of some of the things that you would see that's different on your bike compared to our bikes.
So one thing that you might notice is I've hit quite a few cones. That's why I don't have my fender skirt on there. It gets broken off quite a bit. Obviously the lights, we have lots of different lights, not just for our emergency lights. So here's our emergency lights.
Okay.
But just our running lights, a big safety issue would be putting as many big lights, bright lights on there as possible so people see you coming.
Does the department put those lights on there for you guys, or is that something y'all?
Correct. We buy the bike, and
Okay.
we'll talk more about this later, but we buy the bike and then the city equips it out.
Okay.
So as far as lights and sirens, we have our loud sirens.
Wow.
So that's all equipment that the city buys and puts on the bike after we get the bike. We do have a tour pack in the back. We like to call this our working desk.
Okay.
To open it up, we got, you know, ball caps, traffic wands, traffic vest, ticket writer, ticket printer, have our LiDAR that normally stays here. I'm trying to keep it out of the rain.
Yeah. So what is that? Oh,
This is the LiDAR for speed measurement.
Oh, okay.
That's what we use to track down people for speed.
Well, see, yeah, I got it. Okay.
Different things, some different paperwork I got in there, but
Okay.
that's about it. Tourniquets, Narcan for these people using too much drugs.
You have to check it.
So obviously my bike's not completely stock.
Okay.
I've just done the stage 1 upgrade with the pipes and the air breather.
Okay.
I think on my next bike I want to try to get the stage 2, just to give you a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Trying to get after people.
Yeah.
So,
And then whenever y'all do those upgrades like that, is that something you guys have to do personally?
it's something that we have to pay for personally. The department won't pay for the upgrades.
Okay, got it. Got it. And obviously, guys, every police department is different. So he's speaking specifically to the Arlington PD here in Arlington, Texas. But tell us a little bit about the seat setup.
So they call this the tractor seat.
Okay.
If you'll notice, I don't know if you can get a good shot in there. I had mine lifted as high as I can, and I even have a piece of that's a painted PVC pipe.
I see it, yeah.
So it raises it up just a little bit more. The purpose of that is to get you higher, the high as you can on the tank, which helps with your different maneuvers for like the motorcycle rodeos.
Oh, okay. Gives you a little bit more control.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, you'll see guys with taller, higher handlebars. Mine are still stock, but if you gotta think about the pivot point on the motorcycle, the higher you get that pivot point up here, the easier it is to turn. Rather than down here, harder to turn.
Okay. So guys, that's a good, information for setup on your bikes, just to be more skilled in the bike, riding the bike, maneuvering the bike. And you can see this side till's scratched up down there, even down at the bottom. You can see it.
We do put these engine guards on. This whole setup I think cost me like $300.
Oh,
so
wow.
One on each engine guard.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay.
Because the engine guard will protect you for the fall.
Okay.
And those engine guards will also start to wear out as you're falling.
Okay.
You got them on both sides of the engine guard plus the primary. Got the primary guard going up too.
Oh wow, yeah, I see that. Okay.
So if you know you're going to be falling a lot, maybe a good investment.
Good investment to protect the bike.
Yeah. During our motorcycle training, when you first get into it, you're dumping the bike, falling the bike, doing the rodeos, you're falling all the time.
Right. Yeah, guys, that's something that we're going to do. I'll go ahead and throw this in there. We're going to be doing a podcast video. It's going to be a video, but also it's going to be on YouTube, so you guys can listen to it while you're driving. But we're going to be interviewing Officer Merritt, just talking about his experience becoming a police officer, and then also getting into the motor school.
Yeah.
And talking about that and kind of the experience from him riding bikes as he was younger and already knowing how to ride, but then going to motor school and really learning how to ride. So we're going to get into that. So stay tuned. Make sure you look for that podcast that's coming out. But yeah, we just wanted to get some video of him actually maneuvering the bike, talking a little bit about the bike. Now tell us a little bit about your gear.
So obviously we wear Danner boots. These are not my most favorite comfortable boots, but they do give a lot of protection because they come up tall.
Okay.
As far as for burns, scrapes, and if we do end up falling, give us some more support and protection. Obviously the helmet, super important. Glasses, that's one of the things that I noticed. We do a little bit of riding in the rain, so if you get some good glasses without the, with like maybe Rain X or something like that on it, helps out a lot.
Okay.
I've also got some goggles if it's really, really raining.
Okay.
And of course gloves.
Okay.
It's only a matter of time before you go down, even if you're just falling a little bit. It's better to fall with some gloves on than lose that skin on your hands.
Okay.
Another thing I forgot, we had the saddle bags for, rain gear, whatever the case may be. We also have the ability, we don't carry our rifles on the outside. We're able to carry them on the inside.
Oh, wow. Got everything set up there just in case.
So,
that is pretty cool that they got that mount where it mounts in there really tight.
Yep, it's all secured in there.
Hopefully I'm getting a good shot of this, guys, so that you can actually see that in there. And that's some of his rain gear. Oh, there it is. Okay, now that's a good shot. You guys should be able to see that. But it's got a brace and everything that's mounted in securely. And so, and how long have you been working with the Arlington PD or been a police officer?
So I'll be making 10 years with the Arlington Police Department and then 5 years on the motorcycle unit.
Okay.
So January, actually this month, January, makes 5 years on the motorcycle unit.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I'm guessing that I probably met you right when you started with the Arlington PD, because I remember back in, I think it was 2015, 16, somewhere around there, maybe a little out there, that I was seeing you at Lifetime Fitness over here.
Yep.
And
yeah, so I started working at as a part-time job with the church 2016 or 17.
Okay.
And so that's whenever I was a patrol officer.
Okay.
And then whenever I got in the motorcycle unit, I probably caught your eye more because I was on a motorcycle.
Yes, no, for sure. But no, I remember you always being at the church and being, just checking out on us and being a, really nice guy to talk to. And then when he got into the motorcycle academy and started driving the bike up, obviously I'm a motorcycle guy. I've had motorcycles since I was 21. I had my first dirt bike at 16 that I bought myself, and just always, I think it was ever since the movie Top Gun came out.
Yeah.
Like, I was a kid and I watched that. My uncle was in the Air Force, and he actually, I thought, brought me that movie so I could watch it at home. That was back on VHS. Oh, yeah. And as soon as I saw Top Gun, I always wanted to be in the Air Force. I always wanted to be a helicopter pilot or something like that. Never got the chance to, but I just remember that motorcycle, and I just fell in love with motorcycles. Then my uncle actually brought his motorcycle home from the Air Force and kept it at my house, at my dad's house with us. And so it used to just sit outside. I used to climb on top of it and pretend I was riding when I was like 9, 10 years old. And ever since then, I knew like I was gonna get a motorcycle one day. Yeah. And that's kind of what started my passion. But we'll get into a lot of that when we do the interview. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we talk about, this is the best job in the police force because we're able to ride a motorcycle all day long for work. So a lot of people are jealous of it.
I bet. That's awesome. And then tell us a little bit about year-round as far as the weather. Do you guys ride these motorcycles year-round?
So we're not forced to ride it in the rain or in the really cold or extremely hot, but most of us do just because we like riding.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to be doing escorts, generally we like to be on our motorcycles just so we can get around doing the escorts. Mm-hmm. But if it's just normal patrol and it's pouring down rain, we'll normally park them and go get a car.
Okay. Got it. No, that's what I kind of wondered that, just because I do hear you almost see every motorcycle policeman year-round.
Yeah, here in Texas, we pretty much get to ride year-round. Mm-hmm. I know there's some other agencies, Utah, Colorado, they say they only do like half year on the motorcycles. So.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, awesome, guys. Well, all right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. I so thank you, Officer Merritt, for coming out and doing this with us and allowing me to be able to see and some of the things that you learned, that you've done. I know a lot of us, because basically my channel is, we have a lot of motorcycle content and guys interested. And I think, what you guys do for us as far as police officers, we thank you for your service and just opportunity for guys to know about this, because there's a lot of guys that really don't know how to get started and what it's like being a motorcycle police, or what's the correct term?
We call each other motors.
Motors, okay.
Somebody calls for me on the radio, they say, hey, we need a motor.
Okay.
Now, motor jock.
Okay.
We hear that a lot too.
Okay.
But generally on the radio, they try to keep it short, and it's a motor.
It's a motor. Okay.
Hey, look at the group of motors over there. Hey, I need a few motors to come to this accident, whatever the case may be. So
okay.
Motor.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, awesome. Well, it's good for guys to actually get to see this and experience it. And like I said, it was one of the things that I used to be a correctional officer, and so I did that when I was 19, 20, and I did that for a while, and always thought about, joining the police department, taking that route. I actually did some tests and almost hired on with one of the police departments when I was younger. But this would have been one of my goals had I to become a police officer, is to be a motor.
Every academy class, there's somebody that comes through that says that's my goal, is to be on the motor unit.
So. Yeah. And is it a hard unit to get on?
I would say yes, just because there's not very many of us. There's 16 in Arlington, plus 2 sergeants, so you have to wait for one of those spots to come available, and then you have to be selected. So you have to be able to have a motorcycle license, be able to afford it, because you have to finance it,
right,
and then get through the school, the 2-week school. Right. What else? You have to show that you have interest in traffic, really. Okay. So the purpose of the motorcycle unit isn't to raise a whole bunch of money. It's to enforce traffic rules. Okay. Which is to increase traffic safety on the roads. Okay, got it. Well, awesome. Well, we sure appreciate it, and you be safe out there. And guys, we're going to do the interview portion next, so stay tuned. Make sure you watch for the channel. Look for the podcast after this video. We're excited. It's going to be great. Instead of today doing our usual RJ out, we're going to say Officer Merritt out. Officer Merritt out. Awesome. Thanks.